You know that feeling when your mind won't stop talking. It's 2 a.m., the room is quiet, but inside your head, it's a storm. What if I said the wrong thing? What if this fails? What if I never figure it out? You replay every moment, every choice, every possible future, and still, no peace comes. We live in an age that rewards thinking, yet most of us are drowning in too much of it. Overthinking doesn't make life clearer, it makes it heavier, like carrying a backpack full of what-ifs you never needed. But what if peace doesn't come from silencing your thoughts, but from understanding them? Over 2,000 years ago, a man named Socrates faced the same restless minds, not with pills, not with meditation apps, but with a way of seeing. He didn't have anxiety, but his way of thinking can end overthinking for good. Not by force, not by control, but by clarity. Because once you see through the noise, your mind finally rests. Our minds today are like oceans in constant storm. Every wave is a what-if, every ripple a replay of yesterday's regret or tomorrow's worry. You wake up already thinking. You check your phone, more noise, emails, decisions, opinions, plans, and even when the world grows quiet, the mind keeps talking. Thoughts collide like waves. What if I'm not doing enough? What if I made the wrong choice? What if things never get better? We keep chasing the perfect answer, the one idea that will finally calm everything down. But the harder we chase, the louder it gets. Because overthinking isn't just thinking too much, it's thinking without direction. It's mistaking noise for depth. We believe the cure is more information, more analysis, more control. But the truth is, every answer we pile on only makes the pile heavier. So here's the question Socrates would ask. What if clarity isn't about finding more answers, but asking better questions? That's the turning point, because Socratic wisdom doesn't silence thought, it guides it. It transforms the storm into still water. And to understand how, we need to see what Socrates did differently, how he faced confusion not with fear, but with curiosity. The moment he stopped pretending to know, that's when real wisdom began. Socrates never claimed to have all the answers. In fact, his greatest wisdom began with 4 simple words. I know that I don't. He didn't lecture, he didn't argue, he simply asked. Gently, persistently, until confusion gave way to clarity. This was his secret, the art of questioning. He didn't tell people what to think. He helped them see what they already knew, buried beneath assumptions and noise. Picture this. A young man once came to Socrates frustrated, certain he understood justice. Socrates didn't correct him. He just asked, "What is justice?" The man answered confidently, but each time Socrates would softly ask, "Then why does that not apply here?" Or, "Can both be true?" Little by little, his certainty dissolved, not into chaos, but into insight. He began to see where his thoughts contradicted themselves, where emotion disguised itself as truth. And suddenly, he was calm. Not because he found an answer, but because he saw the limits of his own mind. That's the quiet power of Socratic thinking. It doesn't feed your thoughts, it frees them. Now imagine using that same method on your own overthinking. Instead of believing every anxious thought, you start asking it questions. Is this true? Do I really know this will happen? What evidence do I have? What if the opposite were also possible? Each question cuts through another layer of fear. Because the root of overthinking isn't insecurity, it's the fear of being wrong. Socrates teaches us when you stop fearing what you don't know, you finally begin to understand. But how did he stay calm in the face of confusion when others fell apart? In the crowded streets of Athens, voices often clashed like swords. Arguments burned hot, egos flared, tempers broke. And yet, in the center of the noise stood one man who never raised his voice. Socrates, calm, still, listening. Even when others shouted, he waited, not to respond, but to understand. That was his mental trick. He didn't react, he reflected. Instead of rushing to defend himself, he paused, then asked one simple question. What exactly do you mean? That single pause changed everything. It turned chaos into conversation. It shifted emotion into inquiry. Socrates knew clarity doesn't come from silencing others. It comes from seeing clearly within yourself. Now imagine this in your own life. You're lying awake at 2 a.m., thoughts spinning out of control. What if I fail? What if I made the wrong choice? What if it all falls apart?
Instead of trying to silence those thoughts, Socrates would interview them. What does failure really mean? Who told me this must go wrong? Is this fear helping me or holding me hostage? The moment you start questioning your mind, you stop being trapped by it. You turn from the prisoner to the observer. Because here's the truth. You can't control your first thought, but you can question your second. That's where peace begins. Not by escaping your mind, but by understanding it. Don't silence your thoughts, interview them. Ask, pause, reflect. That's the difference between reacting and awakening. But Socrates took this even deeper. He didn't just question thoughts, he questioned the thinker himself. The beauty of Socratic thinking is that it doesn't belong to the past, it belongs to now. You don't need marble columns or ancient scrolls to use it. You just need a quiet moment, a pen, and the courage to listen to your own mind. Here's how to apply it, step by step. Step 1. Write down your looping thought. That same line that keeps replaying. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? Put it on paper. Once a thought is written down, it loses some of its power to spiral. You've taken it from the chaos of your mind into the clarity of words. Step 2. Ask, is this thought useful or just noise? Socrates believed that not all thoughts deserve attention. Some guide us toward truth, others only echo fear. If it's not leading you toward action or peace, it's just noise, and noise can be gently released. Step 3. Ask, what can I actually do about it? This is the turning point, because every anxious loop hides a quiet question. What's still in my control? When you focus there, the noise fades. You move from helplessness to agency, from storm to stillness. This isn't about avoiding discomfort. It's about meeting your thoughts with curiosity, not criticism. About realizing that peace isn't the absence of thinking, it's the presence of awareness. Picture this. Your mind once a battlefield, slowly becoming a garden. Thoughts still appear, but now you know which ones to water and which to let fade. That's the wisdom Socrates left us. Not how to stop thinking, but how to think wisely. And that leads to his timeless truth. The real freedom begins not when the mind is quiet, but when it's clear. At the end of every question, Socrates always returned to one place: clarity. Not comfort, not control. Clarity. He knew the mind's chaos comes from confusion, from chasing thoughts that have no ground. But once you see things clearly, fear loses its shape. The storm inside you begins to still. Peace, he realized, wasn't silence, it was understanding. It's knowing what's yours to carry and what isn't. Socrates never taught people what to think. He simply showed them how to see. And when you see clearly, you stop reacting. You start responding. You stop fighting your thoughts. You start befriending them. That's the quiet power of his method. No affirmations, no forced calm, just gentle awareness. So tonight, when your mind begins to spiral, pause and ask like Socrates would. What is true right now? What can I learn from this? And then let everything else go. Because the goal isn't to escape your thoughts, it's to walk beside them, calmly, wisely, awake. Socrates didn't conquer chaos by force. He dissolved it with clarity. And maybe that's the truest peace any of us can find. If this brought you a moment of stillness, subscribe and discover more timeless wisdom to quiet the noise within.